Hey guys, awsomeswagg80 here, back with another awsomeswagg80's movie review. And in this pandemic, this horrible pandemic that I can just not wait to end, this horrible pandemic of not being able to see movies is just horrible. Like, that's the only pandemic we have right now, right? The pandemic of not being able to see movies. But God has blessed us with His divine power and gave us Willy's Wonderland, a movie about animatronics that are haunted by demonic ghosts, and Nicolas Cage has to beat the shit out of them. What else would you want from a movie? Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, Willy's Wonderland does look similar, just a wee bit similar to Five Nights at Freddy's. But after some intense investigation, and by intense investigation I mean watching 3C film reviews, videos about Willy's Wonderland, you would actually know that he made these like short movies with these animatronic people before Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe even in the process of Five Nights at Freddy's being made, but not like this big cultural phenomenon, you know? So he didn't really rip off Five Nights at Freddy's. It was his own idea, and it just happened to coincide with the idea of another talented man. So yeah, it's not a FNAF ripoff, alright? So now that we got that out of the way, I would like to talk about the actual movie. And can I just say, Nicolas Cage's acting in this movie is so mysterious, both in the movie and as an actor. Of course, Nicolas Cage does not say a single word. All he ever says throughout the movie is and just a bunch of banging and shit. He's screaming. I can't really scream right now because I have family members around. And yeah, that's basically all the vocal cords are used for Nicolas Cage. And I am really puzzled. I don't know if this shows how lazy and like how Nicolas Cage doesn't give a shit about this movie, or it actually shows how talented he is to bring a character to the screen and make us like care for the character even though he doesn't say a single word. I just can't put my finger on it. It's somewhere between the two, but I just don't know what to say about Nicolas Cage's character, and the other characters in the movie, they were kind of bad, honestly. They didn't really do much for the story. They got pretty quickly killed, and just they didn't really do much for the story except for the girl. And in the end, the girl just went with Nicolas Cage. I don't get that. They didn't have like any build up to that. They were literally like in a few scenes together, and Nicolas Cage literally left her to die because he had to go on his breaks, which is another thing I'm going to talk about. He left her to die because he had to take his breaks. And like, I wouldn't want to be with a guy who like leaves me to die, right? And about Nicolas Cage's breaks, his character is a man of his word. That's something I really like about him. You can trust him. If he says I will do this, well, he's not gonna say anything. But if he says I'm gonna do this, he's gonna do that. The guy who told him to clean up the place and take multiple breaks because it's good for you, he actually cleaned up the place even though he saw that the animatronics were fucking haunted and were trying to kill him, and he also took breaks whenever he could. Like, if that is not dedication, I don't know what is. But yeah, Nicolas Cage's character between and ooh, and the other characters are just yeah, and that's basically all the other characters. Now, talking about the animatronics, the main show for the movie, they were surprisingly good. I really liked them. I really like their design, their whole like vibe, and I like how they all feel like different people. They're not like the same hive mind animatronic. But the thing I am gonna say about the animatronics is that they're kind of dumb. All right, like they see Nicolas Cage right in front of him. He's just like, "Hey, buddy, I'm gonna eat you now." And then Nicolas Cage just beats the fuck out of him, just like that. Like, uh, they're supposed to be like murderers, you know. They're not just gonna stand there and wait for Nicolas Cage's beautiful fist to hit them in the face, you know. Like, that's something I didn't really like about the animatronics. They were kind of dumb, but apart from that, they were really well made. They looked really cool and stuff, you know. They moved really realistic, even though they're like haunted animatronics. And some of the scenes with the CGI, they made them look like really like fast and really scary and shit, you know. And the action scenes between Nicolas Cage and the animatronics, and you know, some of the other kids that who cares about them anyways, they were pretty cool actually. Like, I was on the edge of my seats on some of them, but after a while they get kind of repetitive. They didn't really, I feel like they didn't really have much creativity in some of the fights. Most of them were just Nicolas Cage punching them a few times, hitting them against the wall, and then just bashing their head multiple times until they died. And yeah, that's basically it. But still, the action scenes were pretty cool. They're pretty gruesome, you know. Even if they were just bashing the animatronics over and over and over again, it was still kind of entertaining, I have to say. And another thing, the set, like the set design for the whole Willy's Wonderland is really cool. It's so vibrant, but at the same time so scary. Like, if this movie isn't like a stepping stone for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that's gonna come out soon, maybe in a few years or something. Like, if Five Nights at Freddy's does not learn from Wonderland, I'm gonna be like, come on, it's right there, man. Cause like the set is so well made. It feels like an actual Chuck E. Cheese that was haunted by psychomaniacs inside animatronics. Like, I cannot commend how good the sets were in the movie. Another final thing for the animatronics, I just really like the practical effects that they used for them. They didn't really use much CGI except for the parts that they have to use CGI, and that's something I really like. I really like practical effects instead of CGI. You know, CGI is good, but whenever it's needed to be used, you know. If you could do it in practical, then I would much rather prefer you do it in practical because it looks more realistic than a rubber man fucking twisting his body in unrealistic ways and making us expect that that is realism, when you can just have a animatronic that you puppeteer and make it look even realer. But of course, CGI is good for those scenes that you can't really puppeteer in realistic standards, you know. And finally, the plot for the movie, it's not really like, holy, oh my god, bro, what? No way. It's not like really complex or anything. It's just, it's a good story, and it like serves its purpose. It's not anything to write home about. It's not like, hey, mom and dad, like I really like this movie. You know, it taught me about the meaning of life and how I should appreciate my parents and how my parents should accept me for who I am, and that the meaning of life is to live life to its full. No, it's nothing like that. But it's like, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's not good. It serves its purpose. It does what it's trying to do. And basically, that's what this whole movie is. It does what it's trying to do. And basically, it's just a fun movie that you could just sit down, get some popcorn, watch Nicolas Cage beat the fuck out of some animatronics, and just chillax with your girlfriend, you know? It's the 4 candidates of a good movie, right? It's just a fun 80s horror sci-fi movie. Just sit back, relax, and have some fun with this movie. And if I were to put it on the swagometer, I would give this movie a solid 75%. And that's basically it for this movie. I really liked it. I really hope there's a sequel, but I don't know how the sequel will be. Like, I don't know where they're gonna go with the sequel. If this was just a one-off movie, I'd be pretty okay with it. But if they made a sequel that's good, then I'd be like, all right. I mean, like, why not? And yeah, I'm still puzzled as how I should feel towards Nicolas Cage's character. Just it's mind-boggling, man. But anyways, yeah, I would really recommend this movie if you just want to have a good time with Nicolas Cage's beautiful face, being covered in oil and blood from these haunted demonic animatronics as he beats the fuck out of them with a fucking mop or some shit. And yeah, that's it for this Awesome Swag 80s movie review of Willy's Wonderland, and I will see you guys later. Mandatory kiss on the cheek. Mwah. Alright, see you guys later.